the feedback piece is really important to speak about, because many of the questions we had from teachers when we initially started with this training was, how am I going to give them a grade? We had grade 12 teachers there. How are they going to have a mark for their report cards? You know, these kids need to go to university, or how do I give them a grade for grade 8 for graduation? So we had to look at assessment through a different lens. The teacher really had to be on hand to, with the curriculum in mind, see those opportune moments to take the learning, comment on the learning, and give students feedback. So students using reflective journals was a great way to do that, because the teacher could give immediate feedback, and sometimes, you know, bring the reflection to a specific point that may relate to the curriculum expectations, and from that could get an idea from that how the student was consistently working through and their thinking. Some teachers use the tools to generate assessment feedback. The causal model was a great way to get to the root of students' understanding, as a diagnostic assessment piece of a certain topic, but also as an end piece, a culminating assessment. Truly did they understand why something occurred? So the challenge was to get teachers to view assessment happening in a different way and giving feedback in at specific times. So it wasn't that set, and it had to be in the moment, and it had to be relevant and differentiated based on the different students, their groups, and their individual thinking. Assessment, I think, is something we're still working with in terms of how do we make teachers more comfortable with coming up with marking. But I think once they start to see the learning happening in the moment, and the assessment becomes ongoing and documented, sort of like a pedagogical documentation view, it becomes more comfortable, and the teachers find it less onerous because there isn't the marking and the late nights taking the assessment away from the classroom. The feedback also comes predominantly from the students in the moment as they give each other input. You know, I like that idea, that yes and. I like this idea, and this is how I would like to improve upon it by doing this. So there's a lot of oral feedback, and the teacher has to take the back seat of capturing that and finding ways to leverage the feedback students give in that peer and self-assessment piece. So it becomes a bit more of a collection of data, of anecdotal comments, as well as some of the culminating pieces that come from using the tools themselves.